What's up, Bills Mafia? Welcome into the Bills Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Moose, and yes, we are discussing another splash trade idea right here on the channel. But no, it's not Trey Hendrickson like you're used to. It's not an offensive player. We're talking about the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, who was listed by one major NFL news outlet as a potential trade candidate for the Buffalo Bills. One final move before the start of the NFL season. And originally, when I started reading this, I was like, the trade rumors, it's mid-July, this stuff's going to happen. However, the more and more that I started to think about maybe getting Tyrann Mathieu in a trade, the more and more I kind of like it. We're going to get into that here in just a little bit. But I want to let you guys know something. Sitting right ahead of me right now, locking eyes with me, is my boss, who's doing a, call it, middle of the offseason check-in with the smaller channels like Bills Breakdown. He says 25 subs on this video. That's what I'm asking. So, in turn, I have to ask you now. 25 new subscribers, 25 new Bills fans to hit that subscribe button and get free daily Bills content. And as my producer, Mr. Jeremy Chugs, likes to say, if you don't like it after a week, you can get on out of here. All right, let's talk about what Bleacher Report had to say about Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger. The Buffalo Bills are one of the few teams that have a close to a complete roster, which is actually pretty true. Though safety remains a question mark. The position was one of their needs this offseason, but the front office didn't do much in that hot spot besides going with Derek Forrest and Jordan Hancock. So if the rebuilding Saints are willing to put the 33-year-old Mathieu on the trading block, Brandon Beane should give Mickey Loomis a call. Now, I think there's a couple of key things that we have to point out, especially from this most recent article. One, he is 33 years old. So we're not talking about prime, three-time Pro Bowler Honey Badger. We're talking about not a shell of himself, but on the decline. He's on the back nine of his career. But there is still some juice in the tank. Don't get it twisted. Last season, he still played pretty well. In fact, I would still call him, top 12, top 15 safety in the NFL? I think that's a pretty fair assessment. And considering that the Bills' best safety right now on this entire roster is Damar Hamlin, yeah, you probably need to make an upgrade at least at some point. But you can't just get a player like Tyrann Mathieu, right? He's not on the free agency market, so he can't just sign with the Bills. You'd have to go out and give up some draft capital for him. So what would a trade look like? Oh, the great people at Bleacher Report. Didn't they come through for us? No, they didn't. They didn't even give us a trade. They just said, yeah, they should make a call to Mickey Loomis. You know what we're talking about? And we're like, hey, can we get some, potential trade ideas? And they're like, no, screw that. We don't want to give you that. So I had to come up with my own. After doing some intensive is the word that I'm looking for, intensive research and talking to our Saints host, Mr. Trace Gerard, I came up with this trade idea that I believe is fair for everybody. The Bills get a 33-year-old Tyrann Mathieu, and the Saints receive a 2026 fifth-round pick. I don't think this is an outlandish trade idea. I think for what you're getting in Tyrann Mathieu, which would most likely be a 1 or a 2-year deal, you're not going to be looking for a player who's going to sign another 3 to 4 year deal. He's just too old. And the truth is, he's got maybe 2 to 3 years left at best in the NFL. How many 37 or 38-year-old safeties do you know? Exactly my point. So I'll ask you this, Bills Mafia. Will you accept this trade? Type T for trade or D for decline. And if you feel like it's a bad trade idea, at least let me know why in the comment section down below. Do you think we don't need another safety, or would you not want to give up a fifth-round pick? Either way, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. My thoughts, the Saints will not trade for Tyrann Mathieu. He means way too much to the city of New Orleans. Our Saints host, Trace Gerard, basically said he is like a staple there in New Orleans. No one wants to get rid of him. So I don't think it actually happens. However, if this deal hypothetically were to come true or be hypothetically offered, I would take this deal in a heartbeat. It's a fifth-round pick for a 3-time former Pro Bowler. And even if he doesn't give you the same production that he once gave, he's still a better option than Damar Hamlin and even this guy right here, Cole Bishop, who you took last year in the 2024 NFL Draft, who, let's be completely honest, we've talked about Cole Bishop on the channel before. Last year wasn't good. Not at all. His PFF grade didn't just suck. It was terrible. He only had 2 pass breakups, 40 tackles. He had no picks. It was clear that his style of play didn't translate year one, which is that hyper-aggressive, hard-hitting, I'm going to jump routes and try to make plays happen, which can be used and be beneficial in a backfield. But you've got to learn how to cover your area. You've got to be a center fielder, right? You can't just be a guy that has speed. You've got to be able to judge the ball. And that's something he didn't do well last year at all. Now, what are the pros and cons of Cole Bishop's game? Well, he's got great fluidity in coverage. So the ability to kind of roam and shift his body, very, very good stuff. High motor player, unbelievable stamina. You're never going to get him off the field. And he's a playmaker to his core. The cons, he vacates coverage zones way too quickly. Meaning, when a route comes his way, he doesn't just sit back and let the play come to him. He tries to jump it and make a play, and that leads to busted coverage. Same idea. Those skills need a lot of work, and he lacks patience. And that's typical of a young guy, especially a young, aggressive guy. He wants to make plays. Sometimes you just got to sit back and let the play come to you. Your opportunities to make interceptions, your opportunities to force fumbles will be there. And he's really good in run coverage. So that aggressive style that you're looking for, the ability to climb up into the box and make something happen in run stopping, he's good at. It's just when you ask him to sit back and, play that center field position over the middle of the field or, down the stretch of the field, that's where he lacks a lot of his skill. So as a former second-round draft pick, Bishop really needs to prove this season that he's worthy of a starting role. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you, with the Bills' current safety room, he's got a chance to be a starter. This isn't like you're going up against Justin Simmons, right? Like you're not going up against one of the best safeties in the league for a starting job. You're going up against Damar Hamlin, who is a Buffalo favorite, but he's not the most technically skilled player in the NFL. So he's got a shot. But he's got to do better. And that's just the way it is. All right. So before we round out today's episode, the boss is still watching, still in the room. In fact, one of them popped out for just a second. So can I get 25 subscribers on today's video? All you got to do is hit that free big red sub button or whatever color it is for you. Lock us in for free Bills content all season long. My name is Moose. Until next time, be cool.